is where the story of the Oman Tourism Office of France has started. In 2002, an office of 12 square meters at the Embassy of the Sultanate of Oman, 50 Avenue d'Iéna in Paris. Most French people have heard of the Avenue d'Iéna. However, in 2002, very few people knew that there is a beautiful country located in the southeast of the Arabian Peninsula, which is called the Sultanate of Oman, and that this country offers to travelers a great hospitality and variety of rare attractions. To stimulate the interest in the sleeping beauty, I had to start from a blank page, or almost. My first objective was to put an image to a name. I chose to communicate with the word Sultanate to Oman for its strong evocative power and a signature that would embody the strong maritime history of the country, the shores of the Orient on the Indian Ocean. Then there was also a slogan that should reflect its exceptional character, and it was, "Why do like everyone else?" The basic ground were set, time to communicate. The media were among the first ambassadors for tourist attractions of the Sultanate of Oman in France. I was indeed convinced that the press and the television coverage would be an efficient link and especially reliable to build awareness of the destination, and it did. Journalists are always looking for the news. The charm of the destination completed the mission. In October 2002, just after launching the first newsletter, I organized the first press conference of Oman Tourism Office in Paris. I remember with pride and a bit of nostalgia too the first article dedicated to the tourism of Oman in France. And there were many others. Journalists are curious about everything, which allowed us to approach all features of Oman. In 10 years, there have been many reports on television. The interest of journalists in Oman has never failed. We collaborate today with about 20 reporters per year. Media coverage of the Sultanate of Oman was on the right track. Then there was developing the offer of travel, and for this, convincing the French tourism professionals of the interest to promote the destination. One of the first challenges was to train the tour operators and travel agents to sell the destination. At first, I multiplied the meetings, showcased the attractions of Oman more and more. The success of the destination was progressing. Individual meetings have been replaced by roadshows, workshops in Paris, suburbs, and in towns. Very soon, we had to convince the quality of Omani ground handlers and hotels. That is why, in March 2003, I introduced our first workshop in Paris, which became the annual meeting between the French and the Omani tourism professionals. Since the beginning, we are also present on several professional travel shows. Speaking of the Sultanate of Oman is good, but getting there, it's even better. Thus, in 2002, I accompanied my first group of travel agents on a familiarization trip, and it was my first trip too to Oman. The first fam trip, as we call it in the tourism language, has triggered many others. Appearances can be misleading, but the educational tours are mainly for training and work sessions.
C'est une destination qui vient d'offrir, c'est un sultanat, donc ça fait rêver. C'est une destination très stable, très sûre, et tout ça, c'est des choses très importantes pour promouvoir. Il y a 1700 km de côte, avec tout ce qu'on peut faire à la mer, la plongée, la pêche au gros. À l'intérieur, il y a des montagnes, on peut faire de l'escalade, donc ce côté sportif, côté culturel, balnéaire, pourquoi pas l'île de Miel. Le congrès de SNAV a permis de plus que 200 agents de voyage de voir une petite partie du pays. Donc ils sont partis avec des souvenirs positifs, j'espère, et c'est sûr qu'ils vont relier ce message aux autres, ils vont être nos ambassadeurs en France.
Today, I think we succeeded our bet. In France, the Sultanate of Oman is programmed by more than 100 tour operators, and the offer is diversified every year. Convince the travelers to discover the Sultanate of Oman was probably our hardest challenge. France already offers everything one would want, and in 2002 the destination was not known at all. We had to develop the notoriety, and in 2004 we launched our first advertising campaign.
Embrasser les mers.
To create an almost sensual intimacy with the destination, and with a slogan, "Why do like everyone else?" launched as a challenge, might have been daring, but we definitely aroused the curiosity. Over the years, we have managed to install an image based on refinement, culture, hospitality, and sense of freedom provided by our open spaces. With the support of the tour operators, we began to meet travelers. All actions that contribute to the image of the Sultanate in France have a positive impact on tourism. That is why we are very active in public relations and presence in many events. In 10 years, through all these actions, the Sultanate of Oman has grown from a sleeping beauty to an emerging destination in the Middle East. In 2011, the Sultanate of Oman has welcomed more than 27,000 French. Many things have developed very positively in the office for the past 10 years. The size of our premises increased from 12 to 120 square meters. And then you must have realized that I'm not working alone since few years. This is my team now: Jacqueline, Executive Assistant, Tiffen, Head of Communication, and Leslie, in charge of promotion. The Sultanate of Oman is a country that touches the heart and the soul, and I hide no secret by revealing that we are all very passionate. But let's go to the Sultanate of Oman, because during that time a tourist destination was born and continues to grow, driven by the ambition to merge economic diversification and preservation of natural cultural heritage of the country, our greatest assets. It is the mission confided to the Ministry of Tourism that was established in 2004. Since 10 years, many developments have occurred: beach hotels, boutique hotels, and an opera. And the destination continuously strengthens its attraction with the creation of new offers: trekking, golf, wellness, and sailing. If despite all these actions you still did not go to discover this wonderful country called the Sultanate of Oman, it means that you are our challenge for the next 10 years.